have a quorum, so.
All right, I'll call the meeting to order. Reese is out for tonight. She had folks show up to work in her backyard at the last minute. Let's see, so we need to roll call.
Roll call. All right, Vice Chair Martin Gilmore.
Here.
Kyle Conrad. Here. Amy Fox. Here. Julie Parker. Here. Stacy Potash. Here. Leah Moran.
Here.
We have Councilmember Chelsea Noonenkamp.
Present.
And excused, we have Chair Reese Adams. And English School Liaison Emily Ancona absent. We have alternate member Monica Alvarez. Right now, she has not joined. And staff, we have Director Christina Underhill and Event Supervisor Tony Arnoldi. It's so hard doing back and forth.
Doing great.
Did I get everyone? All right.
All right. Can we get an approval of the minutes?
I can move to approve the minutes.
A second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All opposed? All right. Recognition of public comment. We don't have any public comment tonight. Okay. And then, so we'll move on to old business. Cherokee and Floyd public art proposal. Meg Donaldson's not here tonight, right?
Correct.
So we'll move that to the next meeting. Median art. I guess since Reese isn't here, we are looking at this, at what the sculpture call is going to look like. She sent me a couple of examples. I looked up a couple of examples, so we just need to kind of start getting that under, working on that. I guess she and I are working on that so far. Does anybody have comments on median art? Okay, I don't know if we need to do anything with that. She's written here to talk, but I don't know what she was going to say.
You all decided to go with kind of a bigger investment for one piece,
I think that's
right?
what,
A new
I think
piece.
that's what we decided to do.
Isn't it like 16?
Which seems like a better, say what?
Was it 16,000?
I think that's right, yeah. Yeah, to do that. So we're just working on kind of what the wording of the call is. So like all this, there's this one, this from Decatur. Doesn't say what state, but Decatur, Illinois maybe. And it like has the list of the sites and then specifications for the work, details of the work, those kinds of things. So we just have to get with Public Works and sort all that stuff out about what that looks like and what the parameters are. So that's happening. That's in the works right now. Cool. That's all I have on that. July 21st artist meet and greet was a fantastic success. And good job, Kyle, and all the rest of that committee. Kyle, you want to talk?
Well, I think everyone in here should have gotten a survey from me, or I added you or shared it, but essentially the big takeaway is that most of the people said they would prefer an art walk, which I think really makes sense for businesses in downtown Inglewood. As much as I love the idea of a studio art tour, like I think what would support both the business and the artist community is having a walking art tour. And so I think next steps is figuring out what artists want to be involved, working with Tony to figure out a date for next year, and definitely looking at next year, not this year. I'm gonna make that clear right now. And figuring out what that would look like as a partnership with the city, businesses, and artists. And we definitely had a lot of artists who want to be involved, so I think if the subcommittee continues in some capacity, several artists that night said they want to join and be part of the effort. And there was a lot of feedback of just more meet and greets and support systems for artists in Inglewood. So I think in that sense, it got that information to us. I don't know, does anybody have any other thoughts or heard anything from artists that night that you feel like was relevant?
Did we get anything back on time, like what's a good month to have this in?
My research very brief, was that it should probably be, a lot of stuff is done in the fall and spring. I think the question is, do we want to compete with other groups? We could do a summer event, but it is hot, so it's like maybe June. Like if we're thinking about like sidewalk artists, like I just think strategically we have to think about what's going to get people out, and also looking regionally at where other events are, so we're not competing with like the May big event in North Glen or Arvada's big art. You know, and like there's other communities we may want to draw artists from to come to ours.
Is that kind of what you're thinking, like having it on the street?
I think like having businesses host artists and also doing like a sidewalk art tour would be a way to do it. But not having it be like a Friday, like I think the thing we have to do is somehow make it different or unique from like a Friday night walking art tour, because we don't want to compete with the Santa Fe Art District.
Right.
We want to be our own event.
Yeah, I'm just wondering if we could get like businesses to give their space and like, here, there's an artist in their space.
I think
Inside.
that will not be that will be the least of the hard problems.
Yeah, but if we do it that way, maybe we're not constrained to summertime when we're competing against every other event. I don't know.
No, you're right. I mean, and like Loveland does theirs October, Fort Collins also does theirs October, where they have both businesses and studio art, where they do a combo. Yeah, so I don't know. So I think that's where, and like, I think too, the big thing is Tony thinking about your events. So it's like, this is an event as well, not just like a subcommittee thing. And so I think that's where we have to be strategic as well, like where it would fit into all the stuff you have going on.
October's
a lot. Okay, that's good to know if October is a.
The other thing that I would want to know is, are you gonna plan on doing the meet and greet again next year?
I think it would be great to do a meet and greet again. I need to wait a moment before I take that on, but I think it doesn't have to be like Devil's Head. They were amazing. They totally ran with it. They made it even bigger than I think what we had anticipated, which was awesome. But I think if we need to do another one, I want a little bit simpler.
Well, and I'm wondering if there's an opportunity to bring back like the way we used to do it, the artist meet and greet was just a happy hour kind of thing. If there's a way we could just put out the word and, hey, we're hosting a thing at different places, something that's no preparation, we're just all meeting here.
Yeah, I think I think we have to brainstorm more what that looks like, but yeah, I totally agree because a lot of feedback on the surveys too was like artists kept saying this is exactly what we need. And it's certainly like supported Devil's Head business. And like even this week, Colorado Opera already wrote me because they want Devil's Head to host their event. So it was great to get other partners in there. Yeah, I just have to think like, what does it look like to have a more casual like location in place maybe?
Cool.
And cheaper. I mean, like that was the other thing is like Devil's Head got a lot of people through the door and it was awesome, but it was not a cheap event, you know?
Well, I don't know. I think if we continue with this momentum, we probably don't have to do that big event.
Yeah.
I wonder too, if you mentioned like a happy hour that maybe everyone just got their own drinks and it wasn't, provided drink tickets, but even quarterly, like how does the CAC become this hub and like really building those relationships, and then you have those relationships with the artists, like that might be a nice kind of milestone event as well that you could rotate around.
I think maybe next meeting we talk about what a budget looks like, because I still think you gotta have something there to get people in the door, like whether it's food and then they can provide their own drinks. And then I think rotating to make sure all the businesses get some love, because it did bring in people. But yeah, I agree. And maybe it is quarterly, that's what's manageable for a committee to market and get the information out.
Yeah.
There's a lot of opportunity too with the festival permit type of thing happening now. So like the Grand has a festival permit, Sanitas has a festival permit. So like they are the festival permit holder, but they can put other alcohol venues on it. So you know what I mean? So there's a lot of different ways to look at having different venues benefit from it in the future. So just kind of be whatever you guys look at.
Yeah. And that's another thing. I mean, it could be more of an art festival, which I kind of steered away from just because that's even a bigger chunk of work than like a art walk, but it does provide different opportunities if it's a one-day big event for artists.
That was cool. That's good. Nice job.
Tony, I had some people very interested in maybe some of the markets, the artists that came. So I was gonna send them your information and get them into, how long are your markets going on for?
So we have it in August and September, and then we have the holiday tree lighting. Our August one, they have until like Friday to get, because it's on the 20th. And then the one in September is the third Saturday of the month. So, but
How much
yeah.
are the booth prices?
There's a $50 application fee, and then the booths are $50 a piece. But if they choose 3 or more events, we waive the application fee.
I will send them your way.
And also the artist list is updated with all the artist contacts we got from that night. And then on that, I added 2 more lists, and one was for people who only gave me their email and want to be emailed on our stuff. And then I also had one for like, I think I added a miscellaneous, but just so you know that people are on there in case you're looking for contacts from that night.
Great. Cool, thanks. Anything else about meet and greet?
I just want to say, like, well done. It was so much work, but it was really, really fantastic, and it was such a great representation of the city. And it was really exciting to see that it was all citizen-led. So really, really fantastic job, guys.
Yeah.
Really great.
And thank you to the committee because everyone took huge chunks of the pie, so.
And thank you to Kyle for organizing all of this.
Yeah. Cool. Moving on, the CAC logo, not sure what she has for that. Do we need to approve anything? Do we have examples to share?
I do have the, let's see. I could just.
I'll just add when she's pulling this up that this is the final logo. Reese kind of took a look at what was left after our last month's discussion. And this is the one that has been finalized with some of the changes. So there it is. Tony can fill you in. She is working on a tablecloth and a banner that can be utilized for events and other things you may be doing.
Great. Actually, Tony, you want to talk about that? Because you mentioned we might need to.
Sure. So I brought one of the tablecloths that I use at the events, and it's a stretchy one, so it's really nice because it doesn't wrinkle and it doesn't blow away when the wind blows. And it just hooks onto the feet of the table. So I reached out, so I got this through Best of Signs, and I priced it out, and I always think it's good to get 2. For a lot of times there's 2 tables and you can never find one of them, so it's always good to have 2. I have like 4 now. So, but it is, it would be $183.60 for 2 of them because we are a frequent shopper, and so we get a $45.90 discount. So, and then I can kind of pass this around. It kind of shows a little bit of a picture of what it looks like on a table. And then if we order it soon, it could be here before on Friday, we're projecting August 18th, but it could be here before the block party. So at the interactive artist table, it could have cultural arts on it. The second thing that I was working on is a retractable banner, and I have used ABC printing and Fast Signs, both for retractable banner and Best of Signs. And Best of Signs kind of outprice themselves because you have to order every single piece separately, and so that became way too overwhelming. Fast Signs is a great retractable banner. It's bigger, but it's $333.58 for one retractable banner. And then ABC, which I don't know how many of you have been at some of the events, but it's more like a 7-foot banner. It's what I've used at most of the events that we have, and it's $170, and it has full color logo on both of them. So I just wanted to provide you guys with that information, and if that's something that you're interested in and Director Underhill's okay with it, I would be happy to help with getting those orders placed and such so that that stuff would be available for the block party.
We have a sandwich board, which I brought to the event, which I know we have because it's in my basement. And it's like you can replace the inserts in it. You just pull it out and it's just the interior part. So that would be an option too. It's not going to be as big as the big retractable banner, but it's something we already have. The tablecloths are cool. We don't have those.
And we can do those inserts as well from like Best of Signs or Fast Signs or anywhere too, that they're pretty reasonable as well. So.
Yeah, because the one we have is nice, but it's a little beat up and we've been using it for a while, so it might be nice to have some. Yep.
I don't mean to sound dumb, but I don't know what a retractable banner is.
And I was gonna grab one, and I apologize for not. They're all in the trailer at the service center, so poor planning on my part, I apologize. But basically they come in as like a tube, and I can throw it over my shoulder, and then you pull it out and you flip the feet out, and then you put the stick out, and then you put it to the top, and then you just kind of pull it up, and then it goes in the hole, and so it stands 7 feet tall, and then at the end of it, it retracts
Kind of like
down.
glass.
So it's like a,
It's like one of
it's
these
like
split ups.
these.
Yeah.
So it's
Okay.
like a window blind.
Got
So
it.
you can pull it out and use it, and then you can retract it back, and it's just in a longer tube type thing versus a big.
Yeah, our sandwich board, I don't know if you saw it, it's about this wide and about that tall, so it's not
It's not
huge.
big.
So it kind of depends on what we would use it for.
How much is the retractable banner?
170.
And the tablecloths are 153.
The tablecloths are 183.60 for two.
For two. Okay.
I think the tablecloths are a really good idea, especially, I mean, we're gonna use those so much.
Yeah.
And I think that's an absolute, like, almost must. The banner, I don't know how everybody else feels about that.
I will say, having worked in different organizations, like when you go to college fairs, everybody has their banner. So depending on, like, it could be useful if we're gonna continue with like meet and greets in our festivals or art walks. A banner would be a nice thing to have as like a table location finder for us as a commission, but if we want to start with the tablecloths and then decide.
I want to put my vote in for tablecloths for sure. And then I don't know if anybody else, well, I know that some people have hauled the sandwich board around. It's pretty heavy and unwieldy. So I kind of like the idea of the retractable banner if we need something.
Are those retractable banners heavy? I've
No,
carried,
I carry like 4 on my
Okay.
shoulders.
I've carried things like that before.
They're not heavy and they're easy to set up. Like you literally just pop them.
It's a one-man show type thing. And the Best of Sign ones I use for the block party, and they are impeccably heavier, but it's the quality of it, you know, so
Because this is something for indoors.
I use mine outdoors.
So we're looking at like $354 for if we got 2 tablecloths and the 7-foot banner.
I mean, I think the tablecloths would be really nice.
Do we have to find a place to store them? This is like one of us who's.
We can store
Okay.
them for you guys.
I don't know, I'd be like, I don't know where the tablecloths went.
The sandwich board got stuck in my house for the pandemic. 'Cause,
Okay.
yeah, it's still there and I keep forgetting to bring it back. But we have it. If anybody needs it.
So do we think we're gonna have events when we do those sculptures? Like when we,
Probably, we'll
Like have a
I would say so.
ceremony?
I would say we would.
so I could see a retractable banner for all those ceremonies and events that we know we have coming up.
Yeah, I think it's a good idea to have some display that we're there.
And if we are talking quarterly meet and greets, it'd be nice to have that there, like in the venue.
Could we maybe start with the tablecloths and think more about the banner in the sense of like, I think I would want something more on it than just a logo. Is there any way to add more pizzazz to it than just a logo?
Probably.
So and And in my head, they always have a little bit more on them, but I don't know if, like, when I'm thinking of Girl Scouts, it has like a girl on there and the Girl Scout logo. Because they're usually tall. You're talking the tall ones, right? That's like our height.
Yeah, they're like 6 feet, 6.5 feet. So ours has, ours are thank you to our sponsor. And so it just has the Inglewood logo on the top, and then it has whatever the sponsor's logo is in the middle of it. So if it's Frame to Art or Craig Hospital or CAC or whatever it is. And then at the bottom, it's just, I think it's just green.
Okay.
So yeah, we could,
Because
but I don't know that we, because of everything you went through with the logos, so I'm
Yeah,
not
yeah.
sure how, I don't think we want to really
yeah,
try
I don't want to
add
make
in.
it too. I don't want to make it complicated. I'm just worried that a logo is going to be like the top part and it's going to look empty. But maybe I'm overthinking.
Well, it's long and skinny. It's not
Okay.
a banner like this. It's
No. I know it's tall. So like I would think the logo would be at top, and then what would be underneath?
Oh, it kind of just fills the whole.
The logo would fill the whole space.
It does on the ones that we have, and I apologize that I can show you pictures.
Is it vertical then?
I think you're right, Kyle, because it would need to be designed. I've done these before. You would have to have a design to submit for them to print and like.
Yeah. I feel like because our logo is long, like Inglewood's line, it goes up, so that tree looks really beautiful, right? Because you would have Inglewood and the down, but we have a logo going this way, and so I feel like it's gonna be a small logo at top, and then you're gonna have all this empty space, and so I'd want to think through what that space looks like.
I have tons of pictures, so. I just took pictures. Up here's a picture. I just took one of our SCFD. So here is, and you can just pass this around, but here is, make sure you tap it or it'll go dead. But this is how the logos all look. I have this set up at the concert, so.
Yeah, I see.
But it's completely up to you guys. I mean, you can, if it's something that you would rather do a banner that you can, zip tie to
Those
top
are
of a
nice.
tent or something like that, so.
Yeah, those are nice though. With the setup versus the zip, like. I think, is this something we can motion on the tablecloths tonight to make sure we have those by block party and then.
Yeah, I see that like the Inglewood sign is at the top of that banner. I see what you're saying, that there would be a lot of empty space below it.
You guys kind of explain it to Julie so
Yeah.
she can see.
Hold the phone in front of the camera.
Yeah.
Pretty good.
I like that idea.
Okay.
Look at you guys.
Well, I'll motion to spend the $183 and whatever change to get the tablecloth.
Second.
All right, we have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Wait, who did the second?
Me.
Okay.
Sorry.
Too quiet.
All in favor?
Aye.
All
Aye.
opposed? Right. Another thing, just about that sandwich board, do you have any guess about how much it would cost for those inserts?
Probably $30, $25.
Because that would be another option where you just have a logo printed on there and have that out. I don't know if we could make a motion for us.
Communications can almost print something up.
They can, but they don't put it on the, he wants it as an insert, so
Right.
you want it on the particle board type stuff.
I mean, I guess if it was even printed on paper, we could put it in temporarily, but if it rains, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're fairly cheap.
Okay.
Do you want to have that updated for the,
I mean, that's an option, but I guess we don't, without a specific amount of money to spend on it, I don't.
Do you know the size of it?
No.
That one is a little bit smaller. It's kind of an
It's
odd
not 24
size.
by 24?
No,
No.
Okay.
I don't
I'm
remember.
trying to remember, because it's an odd size.
Yeah.
It's kind of like the sandwich boards are like a 24 by 36, and that one's like
Yeah.
23 by,
Yeah,
do you?
I can't remember the numbers
Yeah.
though, so let's not,
Kind of equal years.
we'll just have to do that for the future. We'll do the table. Cool, any more about the CAC logo and the tablecloths?
I know Reese isn't here, but for the block party, did Lexi need any help that night? Like, does she need any of us, or is she,
I meet with her tomorrow.
I have
Okay.
no idea. That's our next.
so I guess Tony, like, if she needs help, just email us and maybe some of us could come down or support her if she needs like representation or somebody to talk to the public or something, I don't know. Cool, yeah.
Yeah, the only thing that she sent me was about the block party, which is our next thing that Reese said, we just want to make sure we advertise our artist. So that might be a reason to make something for that sandwich board if we can. For that, I don't know.
Did she want something to go out on social media for
And I think that's probably what she.
Lexi Works?
Just to make sure that people know that the artist is there. But I don't know.
I can get with Reese, find out what she wants.
Yeah.
We'll get with communications.
The message she sent says, make sure we advertise our artist at the block party. I'm not sure what that means. Cool. Any other stuff about the block party? Tony, do you have?
I don't think so. Working on the map, I've been meeting with the stakeholder, I don't know how you want to explain it, but like police and security and admin and stuff tomorrow. So we'll have a lot more information, but it's 4 to 10 and our bands are booked and we have the high school come in to play in between the bands. So I'm really excited about that. The schools are coming to have a booth. We're just going to have a ton of different vendor booths and different food trucks and food tents and alcohol vendors, and it's going to be bigger. It's going to go north a little bit further to Tabletop, a little past Tabletop, and then of course it will end at the other end with by Mango Tree and LTEP. So it's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah, and so we'll talk to the artist, see if she needs help.
Yeah, I talked to her a little bit
Yeah.
at our meet and greet,
Okay.
and she's amazing. I'm so excited that she's representing us. She's so sweet, and her art is really cool. And I just want to make sure, because if she's a lot of people in there and she's by herself, it might be nice for somebody to talk up the CAC, so she's not alone, CAC.
Cool. All right. New business, I don't think we have any new business. Upcoming events. Back to you, Tony.
We have the market happening at, I just said it. Yeah, it's the 20th that I'm trying to, Erica's Boutique down in the medical district. And then the one in September is back to the Kaiser Permanente lot on Broadway. And then October is the trunk or treat that we're kind of partnering with the market. November is the huge holiday bazaar at the Malley Center. And then December is the tree lighting, which is December 3rd, right out here. So, and then of course we have the silent disco coming up next Friday, so silent disco food truck frenzy, and then the block party on the 27th. So.
And Tony, don't forget, Saturday, this coming Saturday, we've got neighborhood night and movie night at
Movies in the
Bellevue Park. Yep.
Bellevue Park, and it's gonna have LB Taco and Kona Ice is gonna be there. I think Ems is going to be there, and Steady Smoke and Barbecue. So it's gonna be a lot of fun. It's starting at 4, so early enough for everyone to come and stay until dusk to watch the movie.
Cool. Staff's choice. Staff have any?
Christina May.
I don't have anything to add to this one. Thank you, everybody.
Commissioner's choice, anybody? Oh, Swallow Hill has their open house on August 13th. Everybody's invited to go to that if you would like to come. Their parking lot is in Englewood. That's what I always. There's some like consideration, or at least it's been suggested that Swallow Hill, they have the parking lot there, but the building that they're in is an old church, which isn't super ideal. It's not very accessible. And so sometime in the medium to distant future, they might try to actually build Swallow Hill where the parking lot is, in which case it would be in Englewood. And build a facility that's
Move the
more
parking lot in Denver.
accessible. Yeah, and move the parking lot over there, yeah. Because, I mean, the building, it has like very little accessibility to people who are disabled. It's just, I mean, it was built in like the 1940s. It's just not ideal for what they do. It's been great for what they do, and it's quirky and fun, but it would be nicer to have a better facility. So that's something, nothing concrete has ever been.
Well, I vote for them to move in.
Yeah.
We want them in.
Yeah. So, any other commissioner's choice?
I have a quick note. I don't know if the CAC in the past has engaged with art education in the community. There are so many music education studios, different art education places. I'm wondering if that's like a natural connection point for this committee, or how they're involved kind of in the community. I ran into the gentleman who runs Music Life Denver, which is actually in Englewood. And we were chatting about the commission, and he wasn't very familiar with some of the art that's happening in Englewood. And I know he's done some work with the chamber before, and so I was thinking about, I don't know if that's on your radar, but what are the ways that we can kind of maybe engage art education, or what are the ideas maybe that you have? I'm just going to raise it, and how they're part of the kind of artist community here.
I think that's right. In the past, like I've reached out to the Denver Music Institute to be part of the pop-up concerts, and they never responded. Or that one time somebody did respond, but then stopped responding. So I was going to try to incorporate all those groups into our pop-up concerts. I didn't know about that one, so that.
You actually,
Yeah.
I do know that group. I almost went to music class there with my kiddo, but
takes guitar lessons here.
yeah, it's a cool little place. You know, I've been thinking about that because I'm meeting with Opera Colorado. Opera Colorado. I keep wanting to switch it, Colorado Opera. I'm meeting with them to talk more about how they could partner with us, and I've been really curious about that too. Like for some of these different groups that don't fit into your visual art clear cut, like how can we support and partner with them? And what does that look like? Does that mean the city promoting them? Does that mean the city doing events with them, or doing like an educational art night with the school, or you know, like an educational music night with the school district? Is that what that would look like? But yeah, I think there's potential there. I just don't know what it is, and I don't know what the funding has been in the past, or if that's something we could find out, you know?
Several years back, I don't think Opera Colorado had yet come into Englewood. The commission partnered with Opera Colorado, and they did some free performances in Hampton Hall.
So stuff like that would be so cool, or even like an educational night, like if these music groups want to put something on for the school district, and we could be that connection. I don't know, it just
Or
seems
that's like an interactive thing for something.
like at the block party, like have them.
Is it Robbie from A Musical Life?
Yeah.
They're going to be at the block party, and they've actually been at a couple different markets.
Cool.
And they are going to be they're gonna come and play some tunes before the frenzy starts, or before the silent disco starts on the 12th.
Awesome.
So.
No, that's such great news. And I don't think he even knew that the city had a cultural arts commission, and that seems like a really natural kind of connection point for him as well. So just thinking about how that demographic of maybe a type of art that's happening in the city that isn't as connected to this group maybe is interesting to think
Yeah,
about.
cool.
Or Inglewood adjacent.
Well, I think that's a great opportunity to like reach out for any of our music stuff, the markets or whatever, to reach out to those kinds of places to have their teachers. And I'm happy to reach out to Denver Music Institute again. I just, whoever I was talking to stopped returning my emails. So. Cool. Is that all for Commissioner's choice? All right, then we are adjourned. After meeting.